Hello friends, today's topic is worst date ever. Let's rant.
Okay, story time for the worst first date in history. This is a true story. This is what I lived through. So don't scroll. I want you to get you some popcorn, get you something to eat, and buckle up. Okay, this was about, I want to say 10 to 15 years ago. So this was a long time ago, many moons ago, right? I saw this girl on social media. I can't remember if it was Facebook, MySpace. I can't remember, but it was online. So I saw her. She saw me. We exchanged numbers. And then, I guess the rest was in motion after that, right? So we started to talk for a few days. And then she said, you know what? Maybe we should meet up. I'm liking your vibe. You liking mine. Let's meet up. So me, I love to go out and do things like putt. I like to go out and just show my personality. Let me see how you are out in the public. Let's catch a vibe together, right? But she says, I want to go to a movie. I want to see this movie that I've been trying to see the last 2 weeks. I want to go to the movies. I said, I'd rather be out, but if you want to get close to your boy, that's all you had to say. All right. So we go to the movies and I buy the tickets. So in North Carolina, you have to buy the tickets on the outside. And then once you pay for the ticket, you go inside. Right. So once I pay, we go inside, me and her, we're locked arm in arm. And there's three girls to my right, your left. And I'm thinking, okay, they're staring at me. They probably want me. But in her mind, she was like, why those girls looking at me? We got a problem. I said, no, we don't got a problem. They probably know you from somewhere, or I look familiar. I got that face. She said, nah, I'm not liking the vibe that they're giving off. I said, just ignore them. Don't even worry about it. All right. So we head to the concession stand because we got to get the snacks. We got to get the nachos, the Skittles, we got to get the goods before we go to the movie. Because you can't go in the movie theater and have nothing. You look like a psychopath. All right. So I go up to the counter. I get the popcorn, the nachos, the Skittles. We eating healthy over here. Then she looks back and says, Kenyo, they still looking at me. I'm not liking the vibe. So I said, you know what? Just ignore them. This is our first date. Let's just enjoy the moment. She said, you know what? You right. I don't know what they own, but I'm ignoring them. All right. I said, all right. So we get all the food. We head into the movie theater. All right. And then, you ain't gonna believe this. We're watching the movie. 15 minutes later, those same three girls come into the movie theater and just do one of these. I said, okay, now we really got some issues going on. All right. But I didn't say that to her. That was just in my head. Right. So she said, I'm not feeling this. I'm not feeling these three girls. They got a problem with me and I feel it. And I said, you might be right. That's what I told her. I said, you might be right. But what you gonna do? You just gonna ignore them, right? That's what we agreed on. You gonna ignore them. And she's from Southeast Raleigh. Okay, she's from Southeast Raleigh. So she was like, I don't know if I can let it slide. But they left, and like 30 to 35 minutes went by. I said, okay, we're clear now. We're clear. So then she says, you know what? I have to use the bathroom. I said, okay, go ahead, do your thing. I'm gonna watch this movie. She leaves. 5 minutes has passed. I don't think too much of it. 10 minutes has passed. Now in my head, I'm thinking, okay, she got an upset stomach. It's probably the nachos. That the cheese was warm, so it probably activated quick. Y'all, 15 minutes has elapsed. I said, we got a problem. As soon as I said we have a problem, I hear commotion on the outside. I hear commotion. I said, what are the odds that the girl that I'm with is a part of that commotion? I said, very likely. So I said, you know what? Let me just go check on that just to make sure everything's good, everything's kosher. Y'all, I go out there just to check and see what that commotion is. She's fighting all three of the girls. She's fighting all of them. And I'm thinking, okay, I got two options. I go and I intervene, or I just turn back around and go watch the movie. What y'all think I did? Huh? What y'all think I did? Because in my head, this is what was going on. Those three girls, they probably got brothers with guns, and I'm too young to die. It was selfish. I know that was many moons ago, but that's just where I was. So I turned back around. Then the police gets involved. The police comes to the movie theater, and then they come in the movie where I am. So I'm over here watching the movie, half watching it, trying to figure out what just happened. The police comes in, and it's an old lady points at me. I said, I'm going to jail. That's it. I'm going to jail. I'm going to jail. So the police comes up to me saying, do you know this woman? They said her name. I'm a redact it from this video in case she sees it. I said, do I know her? He said, do you know the girl that was in that altercation? I said, not really. I'm not lying, y'all. I wasn't lying. I don't really know her. I said, no, not really. No, I don't really know her. They said, oh, okay. Well, we're gonna arrest her and take her downtown. Okay. I said, oh, okay, that's crazy. Okay, but all right, y'all. That was 15 years ago, and I just haven't spoken to her since, and that has been on my heart ever since. And I just want to apologize. I just want to apologize to her because that was right. I should have at least checked on her the next day. I could have put a few dollars to bail her out. Y'all, that was one of the worst first dates that I've ever experienced. I still think about that to this day. I hope she's good. I hope she's good, because that was crazy. I won't go intervene, though. I won't go intervene. God bless that woman, though. God.
Damn, it's that bad? When the last time you been on a date? Comment down below and thank you for watching.